Hey, this is Wobbuthreat, and today I'm going to be explaining and providing some commentary for a category that I co-created called MSB. So MSB stands for Medallion, Stones, and Barrier. And by barrier, we mean the Trials barrier at Ganon's Castle near the end of the game. The goal of the category is to collect the medallions, collect the stones, and deplete the Trials barrier, all upon a save. And then beat the game, obviously. So the way this category was created is I used to run a category called All Medallions. And in All Medallions, there are no restrictions in how you get all the medallions. You just you use RBA for the first part, and then near the end you do a fire temple, and you do a certain wrong warp that allows you to get two of the medallions that you could never RBA to begin with. And so that gives you a full set, and then you end up wrong warping to the credits. So it's a really, really glitchy category. And that's why I kind of liked it, because it was pretty fun to run. And then one day, as I was learning more about RBA, I realized that that if you RBA a certain item that you end up getting during the route anyway, like you have to get it, it's part of a trading sequence. It's called the Odd Potion. If you RBA the Odd Potion, you will get the stones too, and the Song of Time. So I was like, well, I don't understand why we don't just do this category, and then additionally RBA the Odd Potion and get stones, and then we could call it like medallions and stones. It would only take about, I think, all you gotta do is let go of bugs and catch bugs with that item on C, right? So maybe 20 seconds, if that, like 15 seconds maybe. It will take 15 extra seconds in the run, and it's more complete. Like, it could be called medallions and stones. And then I thought, well, why don't we just, like, if we added trials to this run too, wouldn't it be like MST pretty much? And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, like that would be medallions, stones, and then trials, right? So then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna think this through, and I actually put up a stream title called like routing, like pseudo. The name was like pseudo MST at first, like MST, but like doing it an RBA way. And as I was doing it, I got the interest of another speedrunner too, and we decided together to route it. And as we routed it for a while, it took a while to like make sure everything was possible. There were a lot of times when we came to a dead end and we're like, oh no, this is going to take way more time than MST. Because our goal was, if we can't sub MST world record time and doing this method, then it's not worth it. But after we ran it for a while and routed it and made fixes and found new strats, there were a couple new strats found, we realized that it is faster than MST time. And so since it was like actually a good deal faster than MST time, I decided, you know what, we should make this a category, because I think it has potential. Like, it makes sense, and it does what MST does without any like ridiculous restrictions. So we decided to go forward and completely route it and run it diligently. So anyway, really quick, right now I'm going to get the stick. This is pretty much a standard any % no wrong warp beginning. I'm just going to get the stick right here and then go up and do Navulus. It's a simple 10 ruby route. I got 5 rubies on the bridge and then 5 rubies behind the shop. So yeah. So right now, yeah, I'm just going to go do Navulus and then I'll explain more. So right there, I have a little hiccup. And right here I pause. This is kind of like a more advanced strat. I pause at the sign, so like, if you roll at the sign, you'll actually end up reading it. But if you pause and then roll on, like, you pause buffer a roll right there, you won't read the sign. And I equip the stick right there and then pause buffer the roll at the same time, so it's kind of like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's not, it barely saves any time, but it's like a pro strat. Anyway. So I'm doing the non-sword method for Navulus right here. And I buffer it too, because I only have 1 stick, and if I break it, it's at a reset. And there's The run is so long and it's so unoptimized at this point that there's no point in just YOLOing it and ending the run and having to reset for another like 5 minutes. So I buffered there, but I usually get a one try buffer. It's funny because you're 1 frame away from a reset. If you get it, that means you were 1 frame away from a reset. It's kind of funny. But anyway, I'm just heading down Zora's River now, and I'm gonna go to Kakariko Village. However, I'm not gonna be doing the Kakariko West because I only have 1 stick, and I need that stick to get to the bottom of the well to do a Navi dive. So I'm gonna save my stick and just talk to the owl right here. We're actually looking into possibly doing like a 20 ruby route to get 2 sticks and doing the west, but I don't think it's faster, and it's, yeah, I hardly believe it's faster. Now, what's interesting is that we have to get the castle, and we don't want to wait for nighttime. Now, with this current way we're doing it, I'm almost 100% sure it's impossible to get castle before night. But luckily, a new trick was found called Castle After Night, where you're gonna see it after in probably 6-7 so minutes. Called Castle After Night if you haven't already seen it. And because that trick is possible now, we're able to do it this way. Otherwise, we'd be forced to do Kakariko West because otherwise the day and night cycle would just would move too fast and we wouldn't be able to get in the castle. We'd have to wait like, I think 85 seconds is the time for daytime to come, because the only way to get in the castle is daytime because the drawbridge is open, obviously. So anyway, that's pretty fortunate that that trick was discovered because it's really helpful here. Okay, so this is pretty much just collecting. I'm going to collect the first 4 chickens. And after I collect the 4 chickens, I'm going to head off to the bottom of the well. And we're going to do sortless bottom of the well chews. And these were actually decent chickens. Not too good, but alright. Now, if you're not familiar with sortless bottom of the well, it's a low percent MST thing. And the reason we do it is because we want to get chews early. If we don't get chews early, that means we can't get hover boots. And if we can't get hover boots, then it makes everything not only so much harder, but everything so much slower. And we've yet to calculate exactly how much time hover boots save, but we're pretty convinced that hover boots save enough time that getting chews early is like necessary. And also, if we don't, there's hover boot synergy with the adult beginning like RBA route. So if we didn't get hover boots at the beginning, we'd have to get them near the end of the run because we absolutely need them for trials. So that would take more time to head back to Kakariko and everything. So right now I'm pretty sure that it's gonna take more time. The alternate way would be we would just wait and we have to go to the Spirit Temple to get Requiem for Spirit Hover later. So when we go there, you can buy chews for 200 rubies at that guy. But and that'd be like the really quick way to buy chews. But like I said, if it wasn't for hover boots, we would probably end up doing that. But hover boots are just too useful too early on, so we ended up getting them. And right here, I got the Deku Shield. I didn't fail Actor Glitch. I wanted to go to the door so I could get the Deku Shield and then get the Hylian Shield. And that's pretty cool too, so we don't have to go get the Hylian Shield from the graveyard later. We already have it. Now I'm going to save warp and do Actor Glitch. This is pretty much just like sort this bottom of the well choose right now. That first run through the bottom of the well is just to get shields, because otherwise we'd have to do like a 50 ruby route in Kokori Forest to get the Deku Shield, and then we'd have to get the Hylian later. So this is definitely faster. That only took about a minute maybe. And now we're gonna go do the bottom well and get to choose. Now, if you don't know how this works, I don't have a sword, so to do Vine Clip, the only weapon I can hit the Skulltula with is my Deku Stick. Now, normally if I hit the Skulltula with the Deku Stick, he'll die immediately, and he won't come back and hit me, which I need to happen for Vine Clip. So the way this works is that every time you enter a new scene in Ocarina of Time, the default power crowd stab with every weapon is a default 1, the power of the Kokori sword. The moment you swing your stick, that power crouch stab is changed to the power of that stick now. So I cannot swing my stick once during this whole segment, and I failed this this angle thing here, which is really, really ugly. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so I can't swing my stick once. And now, if you're wondering how I'm going to kill Dead Hand, what I'm going to be doing is using ISG, and the ISG will take the power of that crouch stab, which is 1. So it ends up taking 4 cycles to kill Dead Hand, which is really annoying. But it's unfortunately the only way. I'm not sure if there's any strats that could be found to make this fight faster. But, oh, I fail ISG about 10 times here. This is really, like, rare. I usually am much faster at ISG. I'm actually pretty good at it, so this is bad. And the next cycles I get it, like, 2nd, 3rd try, but there, for some reason, it just did really bad. And we're gonna get the ruby chest here, too. Because that'll help us out later. And we have to buy other stuff. Yeah, I get a 2nd try here. And I backflip onto the guys because that's the fastest way to like make Dead Hand to have Dead Hand come up. Good. Now I have 1 more cycle to go, and after that it's off to do Vine Clip. Now Vine Clip is a little bit different with a stick. It's not the same, and because we have to do a crouch stabs come out faster than the sword slash, so we don't want to hit him at the same spot as normally. We don't want to press stick or press the button for the crouch stab at the same time as we normally would with the stick. Now I'm going to do a lot of buffering here because I only have 1 stick, and if I mess up Vine Clip, there's no second chance. This is you can't afford to mess this trick up. So the frame I'm looking for is the next frame. Hold on, that frame right there. The first frame that he's on his way down from the top is when we want to do it. And I'm going to even buff for the turnaround because that's how annoying this trick is. And I had actually pretty good buffering right here. All of these were like 1 frame buffers. 1 frame, 1 frame. Now I drop 1 frame, 1 more frame, and then now I hold up and I'm in. So that was pretty good. It could be faster, obviously. I mean, I guess if you're crazy, you could do it bufferless, but like I said, you only have 1 stick. You can get 2 sticks if when you enter through the well, there's like a little a stick pot, and you can just break it. But for me, if I mess up, I buffer it so much that if I mess it up, it's a reset anyway because it wastes too much time. So yeah. Anyway, so now we're gonna go collect the other set of chickens and head to the Temple of Time because we need the bottle, and we need that for a truck way later on. And we're just gonna need it to play songs and stuff. The bottle is just so useful, so we obviously have to get it in like almost every category, pretty much. I don't think any major major sequence break or like time, like for example RBA and wrong warp are only possible with a bottle. So it's like pretty much every big trick needs a bottle to like be done in like all categories, and that's why it is the most broken item in the game. Pretty bad there. Okay, so right here I got all the chickens, well, almost. And if I had any extra sticks, I'd break them right here, like on the fence, because I can't have any sticks going into an adult. It's not a big deal really on VC. It is a big deal kind of, but it's not too big of a deal on VC because you can pull out a stick. But actually that's banned for the category, so I mean that might be a TQ or something. But we just don't want any sticks going into an adult because that'll mess up our RBA. If we're on N64 emo, the game will crash, so definitely on that, you don't want to have that. You don't want to have any sticks going into an adult. Okay, so right here we're doing the castle after night trick. There, I had to move a little bit because I don't want to side up too far down. So how this works, if you're not already familiar with this, it's pretty much used a lot now for like beginners that aren't too quick. But here it's like nothing to do with how quick you are. We have to do it. If you don't look at the drawbridge, the drawbridge never actually actually loads. Only the audio plays. So, and the audio and the drawbridge coming up are separate like queues, I guess. So the drawbridge actually never goes up if you're not looking at it, because the game only loads stuff that you're looking at. And it's such a simple trick, but it was actually just really found recently, and it's kind of funny how people have been like failing Castle Before Night all these years, and like the backup strat was just so simple the whole time. Just don't look at the bridge. But anyway, so here I'm going to do swordless dot skip, obviously because I don't have a sword. And my bottle's on C right, that's important. If I didn't have my bottle on C right, and I went adult, the run would be over. Because we're going to need it for a trick later to get Froe's win on B, Ball Adventure. And here I struggled pretty hard at the... I was almost about to reset, and I'm glad I didn't because I had a decent run. Well, it was a bad run, but it wasn't horrible. Yeah, I struggled pretty hard here. Usually I get this first or second try, but it took me a little bit. I am mashing it, so it is kind of luck. But not that. When I roll to the right, that's not luck, that's just... And that's not luck either, that's just being bad. Yeah. So there's a lot of time that could be saved here. Now, if you haven't already, like, kind of picked up on this yet, this run is not... And you're going to see it later. This run is far from optimized. There are a lot of mistakes. And you're going to... Like, there haven't been any big mistakes yet. If there were, I would reset. But you're going to see some big mistakes later on in the run. But even though there are like tons of big mistakes, I still end up getting a 205.57, so about a 206. So this category on a mediocre run, like this was a bad run. Like it could be so much time you're gonna see can be saved everywhere. Like look at that, I couldn't even grab the Master Sword. But like so much time can just be saved that like. You know, my point is that I got a 206, and MST record is like 211, and that is one of the most optimized runs I've ever seen by Pitowix. It's crazy optimized. I think it's 211.06, and with this run I beat that time by like 5 minutes. And my point is if a mediocre, horrible run like this doing this route can beat MST. Then that's my point, is that I think we should be using this for MST. What I don't like about MST is that the name doesn't explain the category. The name MST stands for Medallion Stones and Trials, but it's not really about doing Medallion Stones and Trials. It's about doing all the dungeons, doing all the trials, defeating Ganondorf. You can't use RBA. You can't run warp to the credits. There's a lot of like asterisk stuff. It's more, I like to call MST DTG because that's Dungeons, Trials, Ganon, because that's pretty much what it is. It's not Medallion Stones and Trials. If it was Medallion Stones and Trials, the route would look something like this. But unfortunately, the people in charge of making quote-unquote official speedrunning categories decided that they wanted to keep MST how it used to be. Because when MST was created, the title actually made more sense, because well, a while back, like I think around 2007-8, the only way, like this was before RBA. I'm not sure exactly when RBA came in, but anyway, whatever time before RBA, the only way, and even before like even when RBA was found, we didn't know about the Froe's win wrong warp strats. But anyway, before we realized that we could get all medallions and all stones like through other methods besides doing the dungeons, People knew, like, it was just common knowledge that, well, to get the medallions and stones, you have to do the dungeons. So medallion stones make sense because that means do the dungeons, get the stones, and then do the trials. And as time changed, we realized that, like you'll see in this run, you don't have to do hardly any of the dungeons to get all the medallions and stones. But we still do have to do the trials. We do have to do the trials to deplete the barrier. So you'll see that pretty soon. But anyway, yeah, as time went on, the category, the name stayed the same, but it didn't, instead of changing to new techniques that were found, I guess it kind of stayed just like, people tried to preserve it to keep it how, like, they wanted MST to be like. Not like what the name actually meant, but how they wanted it to be. So they put a bunch of restrictions on it, and they made, like, the rules different than what the title says. So now MST is like a category with a shitload of wrong warps, and you do all the dungeons. And the thing about that is, like, I'll keep saying, it doesn't relate to MST. Like, this should be what MST should have evolved into. Like, I shouldn't have had to, like, route this. You know, like, people should have already done this, especially with the new strats that have come out. So, yeah, I'll talk more about this at the end, but pretty much that's what this category is it's doing what MST does, but it's not exactly MST, because we don't have to do the trials, but right now we do because it's the fastest way known to deplete the barrier. But if there was a faster way to deplete the barrier was found, let's say, we would use that and we wouldn't do the trials. And then this category would be really fast. And then it'd be pretty cool too. And we'd probably be able to skip a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff we have to get that are, like, just barely used. For example, the mirror shield. The mirror shield is only useful for one, like, sun sign that we have to shine light on in the spirit trial. That's it. And it takes over, like, it takes about a good 10 minutes of the run to get. Probably more than that. So, like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, if we could find a way to skip, like, the trials, or even skip, like, a few of the trials, or skip items for trials, like, this category has a lot of potential to be even faster than it is. Like, this category has only been routed for about a month, and already it's incredibly faster than MST time, which I think is pretty cool. So anyway, we just, now what we're going to do is go to the graveyard, and when we go to the graveyard, we're going to get hookshot, and then do a choose slide teleport, because we haven't got any strength upgrades yet, so we need to do it now. We're going to do a choose slide teleport to, I want to get stuck on the wall there, to go get hover boots. Pretty standard. It's used in any percent, no RBA, wrong warp, and it's used in MST, and I'm pretty sure probably 100% does it too. So it's a really basic trick. Anyway, but I'm getting the Pocket Cuckoo now because it's on my way. And we're going to end up doing, like, most of the trading sequence, like the first half, I think. Maybe a little more than half for RBA and stuff. So the reason I'm doing this graveyard stuff now is because I have a sword on B. And I haven't actually equipped the sword, it's just on B. If you're not familiar with RBA, then it's kind of hard to explain what's going to happen. Like, I'm not going to really go into detail of RBA here. I'm going to be, if you're not familiar with all, like, the things I'm talking about, then you should probably research RBA and kind of find out what it is. But anyway, we need to get, the only way to do the choose slide teleport is to get ISG, and we can only get ISG with the sword, obviously, because we don't have any other, like, weapon like the hammer. We can't use sticks. You can't use stick on B, that's banned. The only thing that's banned in this category. And we don't have the hammer yet, so the only way that to get ISG is to have a sword on B right now. And we want it, so we do it now, before we're going to quickly RBA after this, and then once we put a bottle on B and get other stuff on B, we're not going to be able to do it, so that's why we do it right at the beginning here. And this is a pretty, yeah, this was a bad Dompe. I think I ended up getting a 52, but yeah, anyway, so I'm just going to get the hook shot right now, and then choose slide teleport, pretty standard. So yeah, I'm going to chime back in at about, right when I get the hover boots, so yeah, pretty standard stuff we're gonna see here. Yeah, so right here I get stuck. And I do like a YOLO side op, and I end up getting it. So that was pretty fortunate. If I would have failed that, like that probably would have been a reset, but I didn't. So pretty lucky. Seam walk is always scary for me. But as you can see, like I'm not the best player. I'm not. I enjoy speedrunning, but I'm not the best in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually pretty bad. So. But even with my mediocre skills, I was able to get the time that I wanted to prove my point, pretty much. So that's pretty fortunate. Anyway, so what's cool here, you're gonna see, is we're going to get the hover boots, but we also need Deku nuts for later, when we do some other advanced strats. So what's cool is right here. Hold on, once I get around here. Right here, this pot here has a Deku nut in it, and it's pretty much like we don't even have to go out of our way at all. Like it's super like super good synergy there. So I'm gonna have a pretty bad this is a pretty bad fight. I had not the best spawn, but I still should have been able to convert. Yeah, I waited too long, and I was too far away. It was actually a decent spawn. I should have easily been able to convert that. I got stuck there again too. Almost got stuck twice. Okay, now so what we're going to do is we're going to get the hover boots, and we're going to double save warp, because that's the fastest way to get back to the Temple of Time. And the Temple of Time is the fastest way to get to Lon Lon. So pretty much double save warping is the fastest time to get where we need to go. And what's kind of annoying about this run is we do like a lot of, I don't know, I'm not sure how many save warps there are, but we do like a good amount of save warping. And I'm playing on VC, so that kind of hurts. Like every time I do a save warp, I'm just like, ouch. So now we're at the Temple of Time. That was kind of a delayed start. And we're going straight to Lon Lon. Now, if you're not familiar with Lon Lon RBA, I'll kind of explain it. What's going to happen is I'm going to do a few things here. First, I'm going to get choked out by like this redead. Because I need to get down to low health. I need a half a heart exactly. So this is not too tricky, but I want to get half a heart. And then I'm going straight to Lon Lon, and I'm going to play the horse game. Now what I'm going to do, since I've never equipped this sword ever, the game just kind of, like when you turn into an adult, every time you turn into an adult, it's called like an adult like inventory. Like it just puts certain things in certain spots that they should be at. For example, like it puts bombs on C down, and if you have Deku nuts, it puts Deku nuts. And there's like one more thing it puts somewhere, but I can't remember what that is. But anyway, it's like bombs, Deku nuts, and something else. Anyway, so it did the same thing for my sword. It just put it on B. Like it's not actually like the flag isn't actually shown for like being equipped. So how this works is that I'm gonna play the horse game, and horse game like gives me like a temporary B button when I get on a horse. So and it goes blank if you don't have the bow, and if you have the bow is equipped to B. So right here. Wait for the horse to stop fucking around. So I get on him. I talk to the guy. Now I have a blank B. Now it goes back when I leave the game. The sword is gone because it was never like equipped to begin with. It's kind of, I'm not actually 100% sure of why that happens, but it happens. So now what we're gonna do is we want to get a stick on B, but first we have to dim the B button. And the only way to really dim the B button that's like doable right now is to get wet, go in the water. You can climb vines, and that will actually dim the B button too, but there's no vines even closer anyway. So right here, we're going to back walk into the water and pull out a bomb tree really quick. And what that does is it gets us in the water, and it dims our B button, and immediately after it dims our B button, we die. So it's super optimal there. And then after we die, and we respawn, we're going to be right in front of Lon Lon Ranch, and we can just walk right back in. So that's pretty cool, and that wouldn't be possible without shoes. We'd have to go in the water there, and then get out of the water and go get killed by the Poe. And actually, before I thought of the strat. No, actually, sorry, I didn't think of the strat. Before the strat was used by me, Zas, the other person who created this category kind of with me, discovered it. And it was kind of funny because I was doing the Poe method, and I failed the Poe method, and I lost the run to I couldn't die to the Poe, and I was so mad because the flames were I couldn't die to the flames. And he was like, you know, you can just back walk into the water and get blown up by the Chew. And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Anyway, so now the RBA starts. There's a lot of things gonna happen, and I'll try to explain some of it, but I'm not going to be explaining all of it, like I said, because this is not an RBA tutorial. This is a tutorial of what the whole run is about. But pretty much I'm just going to be RBAing the bombs, the bottle right now, and then a Poe. Those are the three things I'm going to RBA. And when I RBA bombs right here, I'm going to end up duping over my Master Sword too. And what duping over my Master Sword does is it lets me die later. If you don't already know this, it lets me die later, and then when I die, I'll respawn and have a stick on B, not a blank B button. If I didn't do this right here, then I would get a blank B after I die. And since I need to die later for something, and I need the bottle on B after I die, we have to dupe Master Sword. So we do it. Okay, right here, this is a pretty cool trick, kinda. This is the fastest way. We want to kill the Poe with the hook shot, because it's the only weapon we have. Now, right before the lantern drops, right about there, I'm gonna drop the B-bugs. And I gotta be pretty quick here. I catch them on my other bottle, and they went pretty far away, which sucks. Now I'm gonna get the Poe, mash the text. Now I'm gonna put the Poe to C right, and the Poe links to Bomb Chew memory address. So I got the bug. That's pretty nice. So now I just got 29 chews. What I accomplished just in Hyrule Field is I dupe over my bombs, so I let myself get bomb drops. Once I get a bomb bank, which I don't have yet, but I'll get really quickly from RBing Kojiro, it allowed me to get bomb drops. I got 29 chews, and I got an extra bottle that I put that Poe in, so I can RB even more chews later. So I accomplished a lot, and I actually was really quick. So since I was so quick, there's backup strats if you don't catch the bugs right there. But since I was so quick, I actually have a lot of time to just wait. but it's actually a good leeway, because sometimes you want to enter the morning as soon as possible, but sometimes you get when you go to catch the Poe, you get big Poes, and you obviously can't kill them because they move too fast and have the bow. So you get big Poes a lot, and sometimes you can get up to 4. It's crazy. I've had 4 big Poes in a row before. It's really dumb. RNG trolls you bad in this game. And if you get a few big Poes in a row, then you're going to be struggling just to make it in by daytime. So it's a pretty good leeway. Okay. Now normally I would drop the bugs right here, right before right when I get the chicken, the second it turns morning. But actually we're going to be getting black gauntlets because there was a route change that we just thought of. So I'm going to be actually letting go of catching the bugs, and that takes a little more time, but it's going to save a lot more time later. So that's pretty nifty. And I'll wake up Talon, and then I'm going to go get Kojiro. Okay, I wasn't close enough to her, so I had to pull it out. It's really dumb. I think it's funny how when you're a kid, the range that you can talk to her is so long. You can talk to her from a foot, 4 feet away. But when you're an adult and you shove something in her face, she can't see it. I don't know, I just think it's funny. So right now I drop bugs and I get bomb bags, but then I pick up bugs and I get an even bigger bomb bag. I actually got the 40 bomb bag, which is pretty nice. So what I'm going to do here is equip bomb chew to C down, and I'm going to go and bomb chew all these bushes for bomb drops. And I actually get pretty unlucky in this run, which is kind of sucky. This is the only part of the run that's like completely RNG dependent. You could get lucky and save like I could have been done like already if I was super lucky. I could have got 10 drops in that one bush right there, but that would have been super lucky. And yeah, I could have got 10 drops and then been done and just wouldn't even have to come to this grave right here. Like I could have skipped this entire part, but the game likes to troll you, and this is the only place like close that I can get guaranteed bomb drops. So we go here. I don't think you can buy bombs from the shop, and we're gonna need rubies later anyway, but I don't think you can buy bombs from the shop because you have the bomb bag, but for some reason like he won't sell them to you. I'm not sure exactly why. But anyway, I played safe here and I get 10 bombs because I'm not gonna play the RNG game. Because if I were to leave, I could spend who knows how long on RNG just trying to get bombs from bushes. But I will bomb some more bushes because I'd like 15. In this run, 10 is like essential to have, 10 bombs, and 15 is desirable, and anything more is just a treat. But I would like 15 bombs, so I'm gonna spend the extra time to and I got lucky. I got my extra bomb drop, but I don't even consider that lucky, like, because I should be getting at least 2 drops during that whole time, at least, but I only got 1. I blew up almost like 30 bushes. I don't know exactly how many, and I only got 1 drop. That's pretty pathetic. Especially when I heard that, like, I'm not sure if this is real, but I heard that when your bomb count is like below 10, the chances of getting bombs like from drops are like greater. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but I heard that from someone. So right here, I'm just gonna do another Mega Side Hop West, and then ESS all the way to the Kokori. And I think this first one was a hole-in-one, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it was. Pretty nice. Save some time there. Now right here you can do a pressure jump. There's actually 2 ways. You can do it with a normal bomb, and you can do it with the bomb chew. And the bomb chew one is like really swag. What happens is like you go up you go like to the side of the tunnel, and like you pull out a bomb chew and you let it go at a certain time, and then it goes around like the tunnel. Like you see how it's like a tunnel where it has a top. It goes around the top like twice or something, and then it comes back to where like you're supposed to do pressure jump, and the explosion like explodes right next to you. It's pretty cool. Like Zas does it, but I'm playing on VC, so the loading times are pretty quick, so I really don't think that it saves that much time, and it's too high risk, like low reward kind of stuff. Like I'd rather just get there than waste time like failing a trick, because I'm still pretty inconsistent at it. It's tricky. It's not like hard, it's just tricky. Like it's really easy to fail, I guess. I guess that's the definition of hard, but I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so right here we have chew. So the reason we're only like 10 bombs is because we have chews to blow up like rocks. If we didn't, we'd probably need like at least 20 bombs, maybe even more, during the course of the run. But anyway, right here, I'm going to use a bomb chew. And what's cool is if you run into the Goron with the bomb chew, it immediately explodes, unlike a bomb. A bomb won't immediately explode. And I always bomb them near that bomb like flower bush, so that I have like an increased chance of getting him, just in case. Because if I miss him on the first cycle, like I waste like 20-30 seconds, which is really ugly. So now I'm just going to talk to this asshole and get the Goron tunic, and head up to go do some other stuff through Kekergo village. So, right here, that's a little like, I use a bomb shoe so that I don't actually have to pick up the rock, but I really didn't need health there, but I'm used to getting it, so I just got it that time. But you don't actually need to get health there at all. Like, I only was like, I think I had 2 1/4 hearts, which is like plenty. But anyway. Because we're gonna end up save, well, no, we don't end up save warping. So I actually guess it was good to get hearts there, but it's not like completely necessary. Anyway, it didn't waste any time because I had bomb shoes pretty much. So anyway, I'm gonna, you can buy like I need 20 arrows, and I bought 2 10-piece arrows, but I could have bought like, I could have bought just 1 30-piece arrow, but I don't know, I guess I was trying to save money or something, but anyway, it's pretty stupid. Okay, now I'm gonna give the mushroom to the lady. And I pull out the mushroom right here at the beginning because it skips the text. Like there's a text that goes across the screen and it says like potion shopper or something. And until it's gone, I can't talk to her, so it's just faster to just pull it out and then give it to her because it clears the text. So this item's very crucial to the run, like extremely crucial. This item will give us, if we catch bugs with this item on C right, so we RBA it, we're going to get all the child stones and the Song of Time. We don't need the Song of Time, but we need the child stones. So right there, I just let it go, and I got the, when I let it go, I got the Kokori Emerald and the Zora Sapphire, but I didn't get the Goron Ruby. And then when I picked it back up, I got the Goron Ruby. And then the other 2 stones too. Like RB doesn't really work how some people think it works. Like you don't get things like a certain value is written in a certain spot. Like if I RBA Poe and I get bomb chews, I don't actually get, like, it doesn't add bomb chews to anything. What happens is like I get a specific number of bomb chews, and that's exactly what happens with the stones. Now I accidentally failed the tilt angle there. So I have to do another super slide, and luckily I got the super slide, which is, so I didn't waste too much time. I only waste bombs, but I did waste time. And then I let it go prematurely. I ESS and I thought I was closer than I was, and yeah. So that wasn't too bad, but obviously it could be better. And here I'm gonna skip the pressure jump again because I just don't think it's worth it. So you can see, like, I'll keep saying this, is that, like, this is not an optimized run at all. This is a mediocre run. I think mediocre is the best way to say it. Like, it's not a horrible run. It's a mediocre run. Like, it's just not good in any way. But it's not a run where I would say, like it's a run that I think is presentable enough to kind of do commentary over. So that's why I'm doing it. If I was just, like, there were a couple stupid mistakes, and if I wouldn't have made them, I would have got about a 203, but I ended up being a 206 because I made about 3 minutes of mistakes that were just downright stupid. One of them was I failed Spirit Hover, and I didn't fail Spirit Hover, I failed the Super Slide Jump Slash. At like the end of the Super Slide Hover, I did the Jump Slash like way too early, and I failed Spirit Hover and had to reset. And the reason I had to reset was because when we get to that point, we're going to be on a specific day-night cycle so that we can get fire arrows. And so if you fail Spirit Hover, you have to reset because it'll take more time to wait for the next day to come. Okay. So now I play Prelude, and when I play Prelude, I go back to the Temple of Time, and now I'm going to go continue on the trading sequence and go get the Requiem of Spirit for later, because we're going to have to do Spirit Hover later. We do Spirit Hover so that we can get Mirror Shield, and so that we can do the Spirit Trial. So right here I do a super slide, and I think this was pretty good actually. I got a back walking super slide, and I got the full ESS, which was pretty nice. So I get my back walk super slide, and it was really early too. Like I feel like that was or late, and I just didn't see him. I didn't, like, when it happened, I didn't think I was gonna get it, but I luckily got it, which was nice. So here at ESS. Pretty good. Could have been better. Okay, now right here, this is pretty ugly. Like, this just... But I'm not going to say this shouldn't have happened, because this was just... This is actually pretty typical of me. Like, I just mess this up a lot. And actually, looking at how many bombs I had, I could have went for one more attempt, but I didn't. Now right here, the fastest way to get across, and this is because we have hover boots. If we didn't have hover boots, we would have to do like a distance flip that's really tricky. But we're just going to line up with there and then do a back walk super slide. It's way too early. Didn't work. I do a stationary one. Way too early, didn't work. So now I actually probably had time for one more attempt. Like, I could spare 2 more bombs. But I played safe and I did the backup strat. And the backup strat's kind of slow, but I had pretty good buffering. This is a setup that Zas found. It's pretty cool. You just do a mega flip. Okay, this was bad buffering. Right here. But I actually get a 1-frame buffer right there. So it's nice. So I'm going to switch hover boots in midair. And I'm also going to equip Tunic. Now I'm going to hold down and let go of Z, and then it'll give me enough force to like just hover over the bridge. Now I'm going to unequip boots and put hook shot. I should have done the boots first, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, now I'm going to go get the broken sword. Now normally, like, in all medallions you'd be done, you'd be already playing the Nocturne of Shadow, but we have to go get the Requiem of the Spirit so that we can come back and hover later. So we're off to go do it. Now we have to do gate skip, obviously, because we don't want to do like the Gerudo training, not the Gerudo training grounds, the Gerudo like fortress. So we have to do gate skip, and gate skip is usually done with hover boots and a sword. We have hover boots, but we don't have a sword, and we don't have any weapon like a sword that'll work like it. If we had the hammer, maybe it would work. So what we have to end up doing is a strat that we kind of discovered. And like I said, I use the word discovered because I'm not sure if we actually were the first ones to find it. But we discovered it for ourselves nonetheless. And it's just a mega side hop. If you mega side hop at a certain angle, you're able to get to where you need to go to be able to do gate skip. So let's see, I get a first try here, which is nice. Like, this is kind of a nervous trick for me for some reason, because I've always had trouble with gate skip. Like, it's not super hard, it's just to make a side hop, but I've just had trouble with it in the past. But you line up, you do a backflip, turn around, backflip and drop a bomb at mid-flip, and then you just do a mega side hop. And I got pretty fortunate there. Okay. The setup is 1, 2, 3, 4 side hops, and then backflip. Now, this is a pretty bad wasteland too. Like, you can super side the wasteland too, and you can backwalk a lot of spots, but I don't know how to do that method, so I ended up doing a pretty slow method, which is stupid. I think this is alright. So right here, normally if we didn't do Bob in the Well earlier, right here is where we'd be getting chews. We'd be buying chews from the guy, but we'd have to get 200 rubies, so there's other stuff we'd have to do too, because we can't afford them right now with the rubies that we have. But yeah, we're not doing that in this run. So you have to stop to make sure I'm going the right way, because I'm really bad at this. Yeah, and I use Navi to light up to make sure I know where I'm going. Okay. Yeah, those levers are really annoying. So anyway, there's a common trend in this run, like, we do the same thing that we're doing right here with Bolero. So we go to places, but we end up needing to come back to them later. So we can't do Spirit Hover right now because we don't have any weapon to get ISG. The only way we could do it, because I'm on VC, would be to die somehow, get stick on B, have a stick already, like we could buy one at Core when we bought arrows, get ISG with the stick, do the hover right now because we have enough choose, get the mirror shield, and then we wouldn't even have to come back here, and we wouldn't even have to get the Requiem. But that would mean we can't fail Spirit Hover too many times, and that would mean we have to use stick on B, but stick on B is banned, so we're just going to get Requiem. Now, the alternate to this would be because Requiem is actually a pretty long cutscene, and unfortunately we can't do a cutscene skip on it. Like, it's one of the only songs that you can't cutscene skip, unfortunately, that I'm aware of, so we just have to watch the whole cutscene. Now, I'm not sure exactly how long the cutscene takes, but the alternate way would be, like, right after you get the broken sword from the guy, to just play Nocturne and then go get magic, and then when we do Spirit Hover later, to just super slide here again and then do like bridge skip again, and then do gate skip again. Well, it wouldn't be again actually. We would go do gate skip. Sorry, that would be the alternate way to do it. And that would be after the Fire Temple. But even though this cutscene's kind of long, I'm pretty sure it's faster to just watch the cutscene and get the song, then right after like you beat the Fire Temple, you can just warp here. Like, it seems really long, but I'm pretty sure it's faster to just watch it because we're already at the Gerudo area anyway, so we won't want to have to do their super slide. And that would mean we'd have to like save warp too, because right after the Fire Temple, we're like right near the Master Sword like thingy, so we'd have to save warp, super slide again, do the bridge skip again, and it's probably faster to just watch the cutscene. I think it's about like a minute and a half, 2 minutes or something, so it's questionable for sure, but this is a lot easier nonetheless. So now I just got like almost all the medallions, and I'm gonna play the Nocturne. I'm not gonna play the Prelude of Light because if I play the Prelude of Light, I will get Lightarrow's cutscene, and we're not ready for Lightarrow's cutscene yet. We're not set up for it. So we're going to play Nocturne and go up to Death Mountain Crater. What we have to do in Death Mountain Crater are like a couple of things, actually. One, we need to get magic, because we're going to need it like for like a lot of stuff later. We need to get magic from the ferry. We also need to get a fish, so that we can do a certain trick. And then we are also going to need to get some extra bombs for the Fire Temple, because we're not going to want to use choose when we get to the Fire Temple. We're going to want to save them for hovers later. So that's pretty much all we're doing right now. So right here I actually could have used bombs to blow up these rocks. I probably should have actually, but I used bomb choose because we're gonna actually RBA Poe on C-Rate again, so we're gonna get a whole new fresh set. So these bomb choose are pretty disposable. And like that ledge can be like kind of tricky doing that one strat to like do like an angle jump. So I'd rather just bomb chew. Like it's a straight, that was definitely a safe strat. So I failed the super slide. That's like the theme of this run, is failing super slides pretty much. Failing super slides, failing super slide hovers. But it's not a big deal because I'm gonna get 20 new bombs. So I'm gonna go get magic, and I'm gonna use a bomb chew because I'm kind of low on bombs. Like, I could have used a bomb, but I want to actually use that extra bomb for damage buffering. So I'm gonna keep the extra 2 bombs. And I can hurt myself because it doesn't matter at all. I'm gonna get healed by the fairy. Yeah, no, I paused there for no reason. Or, not here, but before I entered. I was done. Okay, so I dropped the bugs. I got 20 bomb chews. And I pick them up. Now I have exactly 29. Got Ocarina items. ZL. Okay, now we just watch this magic cutscene. I'm not even sure that's what you call it. Pretty much a cutscene, but it has text box. So there I let go of bugs, and I let go of bugs because I need to get a fish in that bottle, and it has to be, my bugs were in the first bottle, and it has to be the first bottle you get the fish in, because that's the bottle that we equipped to see right as a kid. And there I use that bomb to like hurt myself and damage buffer, because I need to get down to half a heart for the cutscene skip, or I'm gonna kill myself. So I got the fish. Now here's where I kind of made a hiccup. Or no, never mind. Right here I should have drank in my Po, but I didn't drink my Po. If I would drink my Po, there's a 50-50 chance that you'll either gain health or lose health. But I actually should have drank in it before I entered the crater. Because if I would have drank it, I would have gained health and nothing would have happened because I already had full health. But I could have got lucky and lost health, and I would have had to like use 2 bombs right here. Instead of damage buffering, I'm just going to use 2 bombs, because it works out pretty well. Okay. Now this is Bolero cutscene skip. Now, this is why duping Master Sword is important, because if I wouldn't have duped Master Sword, this would not have worked. Oh, well, sorry, this would have worked, but afterwards I would not get stick on B. And I need stick on B to be able to get the bottle back on B, because I need the bottle back on B to do Bottle Adventure. Okay, so now I'm just going to get bottle back on B, and then we're off to go watch the cutscene. Okay, now what we need to do, because we want, for how Bottle Adventure works, is it looks to the item on, if you have a bottle on B, it looks to the item on C right, and then it makes that item value your bottle on B if you become a kid and an adult again. So right here we're gonna have a fish on C right as a kid, because that's what our bottle was on, and the fish points to Deku Nuts, so we had to get 13 Deku Nuts exactly so that we'll get what we want, and what we want is Furoe's Wind. So if I would have thrown 1 extra nut or 1 less nut, like, that would have been bad, and that round would have been over. So that was a pretty good split. Like, my last PB was really bad. Like I said, horrible. So now Lae'dale's cutscene is actually not as, like, long and like okay, so in some categories where like people always wanted to like find a way to skip Lighter's cutscene because lags just take so much time. I think not exactly like I should know this stuff, but I'm not sure how long Lighter's cutscene takes, but it usually takes a lot of time, and a lot of it is just like we needed like light arrows, or like we needed one little thing for Light Arrow's cutscene. But in this run, it's actually not as painful to watch because, for one, it's kind of like a nice break, and for two, there's a lot of stuff that are accomplished. For one, like there's 3 big things that Light Arrow's cutscene accomplishes, and that's like, and knowing that, it kind of makes it like the length of it okay, because there's a lot of synergy in this Light Arrow cutscene. 1, we're gonna get Froy's win on B after this cutscene, and I'll explain that more in a second. 2, we get the Light Arrows which we need to beat the trial, so obviously we have to do this cutscene. And 3, we're gonna Light Arrow's cutscene will reset the day and night cycle so that we can set it perfectly for Fire Arrows later. So all 3 of those like really make this have pretty good synergy, which is nice. Now I'll explain kind of how this works. So what's gonna happen here is, okay, Zelda is gonna reveal herself as Zelda, and when that happens, there's gonna be a flashback, and I'm not exactly sure what they say because it's in Japanese, but they say something along the lines of like, oh, okay, well, remember that one day when I threw like the ocarina at you? I can't remember. It's been such a long time since I played English, but whatever. That's all unimportant. What happens is there's a cutscene, and in that cutscene, it shows Child Zelda, Child Link, and then Sheikah, and Child and Zelda. You're gonna see in a second here. Are running away from like Ganondorf, and you're right there. But when that's not really like a cutscene. When you see that, what's actually happening is yeah, she says Anohi. That means like that day, Anonichi or something like. Anyway, that day. So it comes back to here, and right now this is like kind of a cutscene, but it's also rendering Child Link. So when you see it, like that model of Child Link right there, that's actually me right now. Like it puts me on that map and like activates this cutscene. So I just became Child Link just to play, like it doesn't pre-render it, like that's actually happening right now. And now I just turned back into an adult, just like that. So I just did Bottle Adventure. Right now I have Froy's Wind on B, because I just turned into a kid and an adult. So right there, that's gonna let us do like pretty much what makes this run like even possible. Getting the light medallion back because we lost it, and getting the fire medallion at the same time. We do that. And then we also need the Light Arrows, and we also need the day cycle to restart. So Light Arrows cutscene is a lot more. Like, I don't have any problems with it. Like put it this way, I'm not trying to find a way to like skip Light Arrows cutscene or something, because it accomplishes a lot, even though it's like really long. And in all medallions, you do this pretty much the same thing to get Froy's Wind, but you don't even need Light Arrows. So it actually is pretty cool that the synergy is there. That okay, we're getting Light Arrows, but we actually need them, so that's pretty cool. We need Light Arrows to get Fire Arrows, and we need Light Arrows just because we need to do the trials. And we need to beat Ganondorf. So yeah, it's pretty cool how everything works out nicely. And now she's gonna get trapped in the pink glass. So after this cutscene's over, we're heading to Lon Lon. If you haven't seen this already, this is pretty neat. So we're heading to Lon Lon and then Fire Temple, but we have to Lon Lon first because we have to do a trick to get Froy's Wind set in a certain like map or a certain scene. And that entrance value of that scene is gonna help us get a different cutscene that we normally get after stepping into the blue warp of the Fire Temple. So, right here, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to dupe over Light Arrows. And what this does is, it does 2 things. Again, this is pretty good synergy. It frees 2 bottles up that we can use for like fairies and stuff. and it also lets us get arrow drops. So right there, I just duped over where like light arrows, but I didn't actually lose light arrows. I lost like, so I didn't lose anything. I didn't actually lose light arrows though. What I did is I got a fish where my arrows would normally be, like my bow. So now I'm gonna equip that fish, which is like actually in my bow slot, to see right, so that I can use them later. And now my my original bottle slot is now empty to like get a fairy in, just so in case I don't die or something, or in case that I die. Don't die. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a super slide together really quick. Just a movement thing. And if you do it right, like the timing is actually like absolutely perfect, because you get in there. And now I'm gonna head right back out because I want to teleport out of the horse game. And now right when you set the warp, like right as you're setting it, it's gonna turn daytime, and you just head right back in. And obviously the game doesn't start till like you enter the Lon Lon Ranch's daytime. So you heard the cuckoo right there, and now it's immediately daytime. So that's really, really good synergy right there. We don't have to wait for it to be morning. Okay, so now we're gonna play the game, and instead of like leaving the game, we're gonna leave the game via Froe's Wind that we just set. And that works because normally you're not even supposed to be able to use Froe's Wind in here. So now we teleport out. Or, well, I talked to him, and it's a good thing I didn't leave the game. I pressed continue. So, right here, we're going to go to the House of Twins in Kokiri Forest, or Kokiri Forest. We do that because we want to set the warp point there. Now, even though we have Froe's Wind on B, we still can't use B button in houses. So, like, what we're doing is, the game thinks we're still in the horse thing right now. Even though we change scenes, it still thinks for some reason that we're in the horse game. So then the only way to trigger it, like to where the game recognizes we're not, is to be at Lon Lon Ranch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set that warp point, and then head back to Lon Lon Ranch. So right there, that house I'm back walking into. Okay, I'm gonna set this warp point. And now I'm gonna head back to Lon Lon. Now, this is one of the new trucks that I just like added this week when I was running this. Normally what we would do is we would have got the golden scale earlier, and now we would have headed out through the Lost Woods, and we would have gone to Zora's River via the like, you know, the little thing that you dive through to get to Zora's River from the Lost Woods. Normally we would have gone that way, but we didn't, because we don't this time, because now we have the hover boots. And the hover boots allows us to get to that bridge so that we can get back out the Hyrule Field and back to Lon Lon pretty quick. Now normally, like a lot of people were wondering why I didn't just go back through like that other tunnel right there. If you go back to that tunnel, you'll activate the Fairy Ocarina cutscene, and obviously that's super slow, so we don't do that. And this is kind of funny, we watch Hyrule Field, like, original cutscene, even though we're an adult, because we never actually left through there as a kid. We went through Zora's River. So it's kind of funny. He is with the Goron tunic and everything. Like, already done, like, with half of the game. Okay. So, when we get back to Lon Lon Ranch, what's gonna happen is we're going to play Bolero that we got, and head back to the Fire Temple. Or not back to the Fire Temple, we're gonna go to the Fire Temple because we've never been there. And that's the only dungeon that we have to do in this game, in this category. We only have to do the Fire Temple. And that's because you can't RB the Fire Medallion, and we need to get the Light Medallion back through a wrong warp. And I fail at songs. Okay, now here's kind of a little mistake I made. I want to get 2 fairies because I was playing super safe this run. Like, I only probably should have got 1. But I drink the Poe because we're done with RBA, so we don't even need the Poe. But I should have drank it earlier because see how I lost health? If I would have got that health taken away earlier, it would have been helpful. I would have had to use as many bombs to buffer, and it would have saved some time. And here, like, I don't want to be down health. I want as much health as I can get, so that was kind of bad planning. But it's not a big deal at all. And in this room is where a lot of time could be saved too. I end up getting more bombs and 2 fairies. You could easily skip that if you were going for a really optimal run. But I played it safe because I didn't want to die. And it's not like I'm really afraid of dying in the fire temple, but it's like the easiest place to get fairies, especially with hover boots. And it's the easiest place to get fairies, and I'm like afraid to die to like freaking Knuckle or Stalfos later, so that's why I want them. But I shouldn't have got 2 fairies because that's just kind of ridiculous. But I was playing super safe, like I said. Anyway, right here, like I roll across this gap, and then I like backwalk across the second one. I should have just done that for both, but that's probably like, again, we're talking like really small time savers. Okay, bombs, and then fairy right here. Yeah. And hover boots really make this room a lot quicker, which is nice. We just teleport over everything. Or not teleport, we just hover over everything. And I'm going to keep them on for the next room too. So right here in this room, this is a pretty big skip right here. We're gonna do something called block skip, and it lets us save like a bunch of rooms in the fire temple. This is done in a lot of runs, but it's a little bit different for the setup here, which you'll see. I'm gonna hit the far left side of the thing, and then right after the little mini cutscene ends, we're gonna hold forward, or just tap forward, put down a bomb, and then target the wall. And Get to the right, hold straight left. Sorry. Get to the right after we target the wall and hold straight forward. No angle, just completely straight forward. And then let's just do it without a sword. Which is pretty nice. So now... that was bad. Now we're gonna head up to the flame wall room to go beat Flare Dancer, get the hammer, and then do fire BK skip. And BK means boss key, if you're wondering. Now, like, you can, like, if you fall in this room, it's pretty much run over. Like, that really sucks if you fall in that room. But it doesn't happen. It's never happened to me, so. Right here I get the heart, so I'm a little low on health. Now, in the next room, like, there's a pretty optimal strat to, like, do a super slide directly to the switch, almost. It's pretty cool, actually, but I end up failing the angle change, like the turnaround, so I have to do, like, the slower way. And this is a really bad room for me. Yeah, you see? So normally, like, that's a really bad angle. This won't work now. So I have to go here and do the super slide. And I know this guy's coming, so I get him. And I feel like I have trouble with, like, doing right angle, 90-degree, like, angle turns. But I finally get it. For some reason I paused there. I think I'm just used to, like, equipping hover boots after super slides, but I forgot. So anyway, right here, this is, like, a stupid mistake that just shouldn't have happened. So I have to end up pressing the switch again. You're going to see right here, I backflip up this ledge, and I hold back, and the camera angle changes. Really dumb, and I end up flipping off the edge, so I gotta do it again. That's just one of those things that shouldn't have happened. But this time I climb straight up it, because I don't want that happening again. And here was pretty bad ball management. I should have seen how many bombs I had, and known that it's enough. But I went for more bombs. And I even went for more bombs, too, which is really ridiculous. And I was slow at it. So now I'm sitting on way more bombs than I need. So, like I said, this run is not... It has a lot of room for improvement. Okay. So right here, I'm gonna, like, actually shoot some light arrows. And what that does is not only does it kill them quicker, but we're going to need to deplete our magic to get fire arrows. So this is like a good synergetic way to... I'm not sure if that's even a word. To kill him. And watch, I shoot him with a light arrow. Because the light arrows do double damage and that kills him faster. And will double damage than the hook shot. And also gets our magic down. And I missed there, that's not even a big deal really. Because we still have to get our magic down. And we're going to be able to get arrow drops. I missed there again. We're going to be able to get arrow drops, so these arrows are pretty much disposable. And I see I got the bomb there, and I didn't even need to get that bomb. I should have went for the fast strat. I'm sitting on 34 bombs now, and I only need like 7 for the dragon fight. So like, right now, like, I'm going to have a lot more bombs than I need, which is unnecessary, and it wastes time collecting all of them. Especially since I'm not even doing the super sight clip, I'm doing the hammer clip now, which is a lot faster. So here's the hammer room. Okay. So right here, I equip hammer. And I do just a BK skip. That's using like normal MST. Pretty bad buffering here. But I still end up getting it. This was a 2-cycle dragon, but that's not too bad because it's like I didn't even try to go for 1 cycle because I don't want to fail that and then having like 3-cycle it. I don't want to take damage and lose my fairies. So right here I didn't even get hurt by Volvagia at all, but I think this was a decent dragon fight nonetheless. So. Like the first time, like she comes up and flies around. If you go like and you climb down the sides of the wall, she'll like go down really quick. Like she'll go back in the holes really quick, and then you can just come up and kill her. So this is the bomb strat. Because there's actually 2 Volvagias, if you don't already know this. There's one that like flies around, and then one that goes like through the holes. That's 3 bombs so far. 4 bombs. 5 bombs. I take 6 bombs to kill her, or 7 bombs to kill her, and that was only 6. So unfortunately, we gotta do 1 more run, or 1 more cycle. But like she comes up, and then all of a sudden she just goes back down, which is pretty nice. So it didn't waste too much time. And I think if I remember, I was pretty ahead at the split, like really ahead. Yeah, I can already tell just by looking at the times. Okay, now this is where the magic happens. So what's gonna happen is, if you remember correctly, I set a warp point at that certain house, and so when I step into so basically what's gonna happen is right after this boss battle right here, the warp comes, but the warp is not fully loaded. So normally when you walk into a warp, you get taken up immediately, but it's not fully loaded yet. So I just walk into the middle and press B, and then you see now the warp takes me up. It takes like about a few seconds. So right as the warp is taking me up, right when the screen turns right about there, I'm gonna press warp. And what happens, instead of warping, the game tries to load the cutscene, and it also tries to load like the warp activation at the same time. And since that happens, what ends up happening is it adds the entrance value of that house to the cutscene value, and we get an alternate cutscene. And that alternate cutscene happens to be the one we need, which is Master Sword cutscene again. So the moment we stepped in that blue warp, we got the fire medallion, and now we're going to watch this cutscene, which will give us the light medallion. And with those 2 medallions, we're going to get all the medallions. And that's why this display is called Fire and Light, because we get both of those. So now we have all medallions, we have all stones, and the only thing left to do is to collect a few more items, and then go do the trials, and then go beat the game. And unfortunately this cutscene's really long, but we don't have to watch the cutscene again with Sheik, where they talk about how you need to go to Kokor, like that you need to go to the Forest Temple and then the graveyard. We don't have to watch that cutscene again, so that's nice. It's just gonna put us right into the Master Sword. And so now we're done with like B button stuff. Like we're gonna get a sword back on B and then just do normal strats now. There's no more RBA or for always win on B stuff now. Like when we get in front of the Master Sword, we're gonna still have for always win on B, but we're not gonna actually need it. We're just gonna equip sword and dupe over, and then we're gonna play Requiem and go do Spirit Hover, which I fail. You might want to like fast forward like when we get to like Spirit Hover, because I fail it once and it takes about 2 minutes, and there's just no point in watching it. I'm not even gonna talk when it gets to that point, because you should just literally just fast forward the video. I'm not gonna like cut it out of this video because I want to show the entire segment, but yeah, it'll be kind of boring for like about 2 minutes, just me failing Spirit Hover. But then I get a second try. The thing is, I get all the way up there, and then I just freaking... It was a really stupid mistake, and I'm still kind of annoyed about it. But next time I get a PB, I'm definitely going to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, so right here, we don't have to watch that cutscene again. I'm going to equip bugs so that I can do Ocarina items here. Don't know why I came over here. You can see my fire medallion in the corner that I just got. Okay. Catch bugs. And Ocarina items. Now, we're on a strict day-night cycle here. And I failed this song too. So, the reason what I'm going to do is I end up saving inside Spirit Temple, since I can go in there since we already got Requiem. I'm going to end up saving in Spirit Temple, and then if I fail the hover, which I do, well, not the hover, but the super slide, if I fail getting the Mirror Shield, I'm going to reset the game so that I can preserve that day-night cycle. Because I'd probably have enough chews to just do it again, but if I do that, then not only will the next hover be even like more risky, but the day-night, I'll have to wait like a whole, like, it'll be about the same amount of time, so there's just, you might as well reset, because I think it's faster anyway. Choose there, save. Okay. So I'm not going to talk during this, because this is a failed attempt. So I get first try super slide, but unfortunately, way too early. So I reset. And that was probably the worst part of the run for sure. Like, I was really annoyed when that happened, but I knew I could still destroy my PB, so I kept going. But if I would have failed it a second time here, I probably wouldn't have saved this run. Okay. So this hover, unlike the last one that I just did, that messed up. I didn't, I got the unlock without buffering, which is pretty nifty. Right here, second try, yeah. Third try. Yeah. And it's really nice to be able to do this with cheers, even though I had enough bombs to do it. Like, it's nice to just not have to worry about timing. Anyways, he's coming, but he's just really slow. Good hover. And this time it's pretty much the same. I get the seam walk and get first try super slide again. And this time I actually don't fail the jump slash. It's just funny how like that stuff happens. Nice. Okay, so now it's nighttime, but it's pretty quickly. No, I did it pretty quick. If I was like short on time, because I don't want to miss the morning sun at Lake Hylia. If I was short on time, I would go inside that door, like indoors where the time won't move. But I'm pretty good on time, so I actually want time to pass because I don't want to have to like wait a long time. So it was really quick. So I'm gonna do Ocarina items right now. I forgot to take off boots, so I'll do it right now. But there's no reason why I did it during mid-swing, I just felt like it. Okay, so, right there, I'm going to do Ocarina items, and play Serenade. I was really bad at songs during this run, too. Probably wasted over 30 seconds, no, not that much, maybe 15 seconds to songs. I'd be curious to see how much time I wasted songs. It's insignificant, but it's just funny. So right here, what's pretty cool, and the way it's like another thing that was like, if this wouldn't have worked, this would pretty much be a run ender. Like, sorry, not a run ender, but it would have been a category ender. Like this category wouldn't be even possible to do what we were trying to accomplish. And that is when you have light arrows, like, and you equip them, you get like the bow plus light arrows, obviously. But even though you don't have a bow, but if you have no magic, what happens is you shoot ordinary arrows. You get that didn't sound like the air sound, but then you end up shooting normal arrows. And it just so happens that it works that when you have light arrows and you have no magic, those arrows function the same as like normal arrows. Because normally you can't shoot a light arrow at the sun, it won't give you fire arrows. But since we're equipped with light arrows and we're out of magic, this normal arrow will give us fire arrows. And luckily that works. If it didn't work, we'd have to get fire arrows, and the only way we'd do it would be able to do it would be to go get the bow from Forest Temple. And we absolutely need fire arrows for this run right now. So, and this is a setup that I came up with. It's mega side hop hovering. Now this takes me like 11 chews, and it normally only takes me 9. And that's because I had a bad initial hover right here. That was a really bad initial hover. So that initial hover sets up like the angle kinda, so that was bad. And I buff for all these mega side flips, because if you mess it up, like, that could be run over. Like, you just don't want to mess them up, so I just focus on getting good buffers and not just yellowing it, because it's not worth. It's so late in the run, and it can easily be failed, so there's no point in not buffering it, unless you're like on Emu or something. Emulator. And VC has really good buffering too, so there's no point in just not. I buffer a lot of stuff because I'm on VC. You know, for me it's like you gotta play to the strengths of your version. If you're playing on, like, right there, I probably could have side hopped, because that's 9. That's playing to make it, but I didn't want to risk it. And then I didn't want to risk the side hop here because I wasn't sure my angle was good. So I ended up doing another, like, 2 additional hovers and then backflipping. And I just barely made it, which was scary. I could have side hopped though. Anyway. So, anyway, like I was saying, it's important. Now I save warp here. Now, if you just saw all my medallions and stones. So I have all medallions and stones now. But if you didn't see it right there really quickly, right when I select my file, you can pause the video. You'll see that all the stones and medallions are there. Right now. Yeah. It's only there for a second, but yeah, there were two shots right there where you could see my full set of stuff. Anyway, so like I was saying, you gotta play to the strengths of your version. So if you're on VC, it's okay to buffer some stuff because the buffering is so fast. But like on Emu, you can't really buffer. But the unfortunate thing about VC is that it has the resets. So I mean, you're gonna hurt in the reset department, but you gotta look at the good things, which are the loading times and the fact that the buffering is really easy to do. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to do the trials, and I'm not going to do any commentary here. There's going to be a pretty much the trial's going to take about 15-20 minutes, I'm not sure, and I'm not going to do any commentary here, because they're pretty much just standard trial strats. I probably will chime in at Shadow Trial to mention something, but other than that, there's not going to be a lot of talking, so this is just standard trial strats, pretty much. The only difference is that we have to do some super slides because we don't have long shot and stuff, but pretty much everything is just standard. We do the trials in different order, though. We do the water trial first, so we can get magic, and then we do Shadow Trial second, and then we go around counterclockwise. Okay, so I'll chime in really quick at the Shadow Trial, and then I'll just be silent for the rest of the trials. And then when we do the tower, when we're climbing the tower, then I'll come back in. Okay, so really quickly in the Shadow Trial here, I'm out of magic now. I had just enough magic to shoot the light arrow into the thingy of the last temple, and then to activate that torch. But right here, there's a big magic pot, and that's really cool because then I get like enough magic. And here, normally I'd have to get the golden gauntlets because I'm gonna need them, but I have black gauntlets, so I can totally skip that. Normally I have to go down there, press the switch, reshoot the target. I got really lucky that I didn't fall off. Reshoot the target, hook shot back up to the thing, but that skipped about a good, I don't know how much, 20-30 seconds maybe? Maybe more, because I have to open up the chest and watch that cutscene. So that was really nice. And here I'm just all mixed up with my buttons. And I shoot the freaking shadow barrier with freaking fire arrow. Okay. The rest are pretty standard, so I'll come back in at the tower after the barrier is depleted. So yeah, that was pretty bad. As if you're even watching these trials right now, you'll notice that they're really, really bad. And right here is the only thing that we need the mirror shield for. Right there is that one little switch. And now, you see, at the same time, it's kind of like annoying because we have to like spend 10 minutes getting the mirror shield and stuff. But at the same time, it kind of gives the category more variety and makes it more fun, even though it's a lot longer. So, I mean, it's kind of cool that that's there, but at the same time, you know, we want to be as fast as possible. So if there was a skip, I would definitely use it, because we have to. That's part of the category. At this point, I was kind of scary because I wasn't sure if there was magic in that last spot, and thankfully there was, because I couldn't remember. But yep, I got it. So I just did a lot of trials, and now this cutscene is gonna activate, and this is the cutscene that I was thinking, like, what if there's a wrong warp to this cutscene right here? Because if there was a wrong warp to this cutscene, like, that would be really cool, because then we could skip the barrier without doing anything. Then this category would be, like, super short. But I don't think it's possible. But right there, that cutscene activates, and that cutscene permanently deactivates the flag, that actor, for the barrier. And if I save right now and come back, it will still be gone. So now everything that we needed to complete for this category is done, except, obviously, beat the game. So we're gonna do that, and pretty much from here it's just standard beating the game. I'm gonna do a quick spin here to defeat these guys really quick. And he gave me an arrow drop, which was kind of neat, I guess. Anyway, I don't really have a lot to talk about here because it's pretty simple stuff. I will mention again for like probably the 5th or 6th time that this is really slow, and that if you look at my knuckle fight, like, I don't even do the right strats for it. I just take them on one by one. I don't do the quick strats. So I mean, there's just so much stuff that I need to practice, and so much stuff everywhere that can be improved. But I kind of want to talk about, if you don't already know, the time for this is 2:05:57, and that's with like a bunch of mistakes coming up here. But I kind of want to talk about like what I think potential times are. So right now that I'm guessing that potential, like let's say if someone just totally destroyed this category, just totally did everything like perfect, I'm thinking like, let's say maybe someone like a top level player picked up this category and did it for a few months. I'm thinking like the times that would be gotten, or the times that he would get, would be around like a really like strong run in this category. Maybe I would like to say low 50s. I think around low 50s. I would like to say sub 150, but that's pretty optimal. Like, I don't know if that's possible. So it looks like it's almost around the same time as all dungeons, and that's like actually a really cool thing. Like what I think would be cool is that, like, and I don't expect this to happen, but I think it would be cool, is that if instead of MST we had this category and then all dungeons, because they're about similar times. And if you like doing trials, then you should just do them this way. But that'll never happen. But that's what I think like would make the most sense. Yeah, and right here I just waste a lot of time. Like for some reason, like I have enough magic and arrows right now. Like I should have just went through the door, but for some reason, like I don't know what was going through my head. I thought I needed more like ammo. Like I thought I needed more magic. That was a total stupid waste of time. It's kind of embarrassing to have to show this, but anyway, and I didn't do the super slide here. Like, there's just left and right, like, there's so much time savers everywhere. But anyway, like I was saying, like, it's cool because we have to run, like, we have to run, like, all dungeons, and then run, like, this, that are around the same time, I think, like, estimated, but they, like, both do, like, completely different things, and they're pretty cool. Like, I feel like MSC doesn't have a place in, like, this new, like, the new discoveries that have been found in speedrunning. Like, I think this is MST, but better. Because MSB, because it makes sense, what I already explained. So, but that'll probably never happen. But that's kind of like what I was trying to show, like that this is possible. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna defeat Ganon, and then that's a wrap. Now, I will say this in advance. The third and like last big mistake in this run is that I forget to do the jump slash before the Ganon fight. Not this fight, but Ganon. So I have to like hit, before I get the Master Sword back, I have to hit him like freaking 8, 9, 10 times or something, when you should only have to hit him 3 normally. So that was like a minute there. Really, really, really bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So here I'm just going to do the normal Ganon strats. I don't know if this, I'm pretty sure this is the standard strats. All I'm going to do right here is just, since I don't have Navi, I'm going to do a jump slash to store like the power cloud stab. Get ISG off a bomb. So here I'm going to do it right now. Yeah, do my jump slash, and then get ISG off, that is based off of that power. Pretty good. Then play tennis. Now, I shoot him with a light arrow, pull out my hook shot so that I save the ISG, target him and pull out bow. And that's the strat that my other speedrunner that we're riding this category with showed me. But, pretty decent dwarf fight, I guess. I don't think it could be much faster than that. Dwarf used to be kind of like hard for me, but now he's like super easy because of that strat. And Ganon should be super easy, but I messed it up big time. I actually get hit by Ganon a few times, and that's alright because I have 2 fairies. But I was like rolling, so I didn't take any damage because, you know, you're invincible at some parts of the roll. It's kind of funny because I was saying like I would have bet anything that if I didn't have a fairy, I would have got hit and died. But whenever I have fairies, like all of a sudden I don't need them. So, and then whenever I don't get fairies, I needed them. So it's just really funny. Okay, this is just tower collapse, so I'm gonna come back in at the end of the run, like when we're fighting Ganon, because this is really just, if you even want to watch this is just really boring tower collapse. So, okay. Those green rubies, so tempting. So, unfortunately I don't get Kiss here, but it's not too big of a deal because it's just all hype. Just kidding, I was really pissed. No. But anyway, so now we're gonna launch Tower Collapse, and I'm on pace for like a 205, or sub 205 here, but I totally blew it. Like a low 204, like a medium, like 204.30 would have been like nice, but you'll see I blew it. Anyway, yeah. So what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna kind of wrap up the run here, and then after the run's over, I'm gonna talk about some other stuff, like my opinions and like yeah, just some other stuff. So if you want to listen to that, I'm gonna talk about that during the credits, and then right when the credits end, then the video will be over. But if you just wanted to watch the run, then after Ganon is defeated, then that's all there is left for the run, obviously. So yeah, but if you want to listen to what I have to say, then you can watch all the way to the end of the credits. Okay, so normally what you're supposed to do, if you have the hammer, you're supposed to just jump slash right here, which I totally just forgot. I equipped the hammer, because I know I'm supposed to do it, but you're supposed to jump slash before the fight, or jump slash like into the cutscene or something. But I missed it, so now when I do like the hammer ISG, it does barely any damage. If I would have got the sword jump slash, because the master sword does double damage against Ganon, if I would have got the sword jump slash and I would have just the power crowd stab of the hammer would be the same as that jump slash power, and I could have just killed. I could have done the first like cycle of Ganon in like 3 hits, but now it takes like over like 8 or something. So that's really bad. I think I realized it right here, and I was getting so pissed. Like it was hard to like keep my shit together because I was getting really mad right now. Like it's just such a dumb mistake that shouldn't have happened. But I mean, I could have supersided in the cutscene, but I just totally forgot about the jump slash. Okay, so right here I'm not sure if that jump slash, hammer jump slash even does anything. I'm pretty sure like all weapons, regardless of what they are, besides the master sword, do like the same amount of damage to Ganon. I'm pretty sure. So I think it takes like a set amount of hits, not like right there I got hit, but I rolled. So like I would have been okay because I had a fairy, but it's just funny how like I had a fairy and I got lucky that time. And if I didn't have a fairy, I probably would have got hit and the run would have been over. But yeah, you can see it's taking so many hits to kill him. Like, it's just bad. Okay, so I finally knocked him down. So now I'm just gonna get the sword, and now I can actually store my master sword jump slash ISG. It's freaking annoying that I just didn't do it at the beginning. Which I do that by freaking jump slashing him and then getting ISG. I pull out the hammer for easy hitting. And I was kind of slow at this part. You know what? I think I lost ISG. I did. I lost ISG somehow. How did I lose ISG? Because I got hit and I didn't take damage, so I had to. I had to re-get ice. Like this is just so sloppy. So I'm gonna say this again for like I don't even know. I'm not gonna say it again. You know what I'm gonna say. This run's bad. But despite this run being bad, it accomplishes this run right here, which is the first decent run that anyone's like pretty much done. Well, Zaz had a pretty good run at 209. Like he made a few mistakes though. This being like the first run that like by a good amount of minutes beat the MST world record. Well, didn't beat it, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's not the same category, obviously. I'm not trying to say I'm better than Pitowitz. I'm just saying that this time beat the MST world record by a good amount of minutes. And see, if you look at the corner of the screen, I'm editing right there. I'm putting my time in and changing the record. Yep. But me beating the MST time by this much kind of shows exactly what I was trying to do. Like this run, even though it's bad, and I think the fact that it's bad almost helps prove my point even more. Like if I can get this kind of time with such a bad run, just think about the times it could be gotten in this kind of category. I just honestly think this is a really cool category. It has room for more strats and growth, and I just really think like that this should be what people should be running. But again, that's my opinion, and it's probably not gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, that's it. The run's pretty much over, so thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about my opinions and more stuff, but if you don't want to hear about that, that's about it. If you're interested in maybe checking out some of these runs, you can check out me at Twitch TV / Wobbuthreat, twitch.tv / Wobbuthreat. That's WOBBU and then threat, no spaces. no space. And then also another runner right now is ZAS underscore. Zas, he's really good too, and he's probably going to beat my time pretty soon. So if you want to check us out, we run like pretty often, and we're running this category currently. So yeah, and also if you're looking for a new category, and maybe, or you just want to like check this out, there's a paste bin on my channel page that we update regularly that has information that I've talked about in this video. It has the whole route too, so you can definitely check that out. I'd appreciate it if you spread the word and, you know, link this video and show to other people that you think might be interested. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace. And okay, so but anyway, I'm gonna talk more just about other stuff. So when I was first routing this category and first coming up with it, Zas kind of like found like me doing this, and he found me trying to find a strat to get the fire arrows, and then he was like, he helped me with it, and then all of a sudden like he's like, dude, this is pretty cool, and we ended up doing it. And as I was doing this, I got a lot of negative feedback from people, like names in the speedrunning community, that were telling me that this isn't a real category, and like this is like stupid, and people were just almost getting mad at me for like doing this. And I think it really annoyed me, because it's like, this is about as real as it gets. The title explains what you do. You get medallion, stones, and bear. There's no like hidden restrictions or hidden like you have to do this. Like, the title explains what it is. This is about as real as the category as it gets. So I mean, I don't care about having an unpopular opinion, because this is honestly what I believe. I didn't make this category because I just wanted to make a category. And like, I'm not trying to be a hipster. I'm not trying to like, I made this category because I think it needed to be done, and I'm not just gonna sit by and let like stupid categories like MST right now exist. I feel like if you want to keep MST how it is by doing all the dungeons, I think you should take a look at Moltov's category, all dungeons, because it's a superior category to MST, in my opinion. And Moltov, speaking of Moltov, that's another great example. When he made all dungeons, people were giving him a lot of crap too, and they were telling him that, oh, you're just making all dungeons because you can't beat Pidwick's MST world record. And you see, maybe he couldn't, and he probably would admit that. He'd probably say, I don't know, but he might admit, okay, maybe I can't beat Pidwick's world record, it's too strong. But he made something, in my opinion, better and cooler, and like, why would anyone, I just don't understand why people would want to bash that down. And it's the same thing with this. Like, I've had a lot of like negative feedback. I was in a speedrunners, probably one of the top 3 speedrunners. I'm not gonna name him, but I was in his chat, and I mentioned it to him at a time where like he could actually read chat, because he gets raids all the time, like huge, like he's top 3 speedrunner for sure. And I told him, okay, well, you're probably not gonna know who it is now. He was doing 100% like duping RBA like about a month ago or so, a while back, and as he was doing it, like, people were saying the same thing. Oh, you can't beat SVA's record. This was when SVA had like a 457 or something. I don't know what he has now. I think he has a 452. But he was doing 100% RBA duping, and like I at the time I was driving this category, and I was like doing the same thing. So I mentioned it to him. I was like, hey, dude, I'm doing the same thing. Like, dude, check out my pastebin. Like, I'm doing this for MST, pretty much what you're doing, like, where there's no restrictions. And he's like, oh, that's cool. So isn't that just like all medallions plus trials? And I was like, yeah, it's all medallions plus stones and then trials. So it's all medallions plus stones plus trials. So all medallions, stones, and trials. So medallions, stones, and trials pretty much is what it is. But you see what I'm getting at? It all comes back to the same thing. Like, why do we have to have a category that says medallions, stones, and trials, and it's not really medallions, stones, and trials? There's, you know what I mean? So that's just, you know, what I think. You know, it's. I know there's reasons why people make certain rules and do certain things, but I just don't agree with that certain one. And I also agree that in 100% you should be allowed to do RBA in duping. And the thing that I don't like is that the reason why I think that MST and like 100% don't allow RBA is because maybe they think it's unfun or something. Like I don't know really why it is, like why the reason is. Maybe they think it's not fun. They think it's like they think maybe like, oh, if we allow RBA, the category is going to be so different. It's not the same category anymore. Well, but that's how speedrunning works. Stuff is found and things change. It doesn't matter if it takes a complete 180. Like, you have to be able to adapt to what the category means. It means medallions and trials, and it didn't adapt. It adapted into dungeons, trials, and Ganon, which is, you know, ridiculous. It's just, you know, what I think is funny too is like, if we ban RBA, but we don't ban wrong warp, why would you choose to use one technique over the other? I guess maybe because it steps into the blue warps, but that's a dungeon thing. That's not a matter of medallion toads and trials. So, you know, it could be that the category means a certain thing, and the name is now expired, and they don't wanna. The name is now outdated. They don't want to change the name because it will confuse people. That could be it. But I just don't think that it's right to do. I think that if a category means something, medallion toads and trials, that should be what it means. There should be only restrictions that make sense. Like, for example, the only restriction that I put is that you can't use VC stick, and that's for obvious reasons, because you can't do it on 64. But, you know, like I said, 100%, I think if 100% like RBA would be faster, I think, yeah, it should be allowed. The thing with 100% is it's hard to define what is 100%, but it's not hard to define how you get it. Like, it should be just if it's in your inventory and it's provable by pausing or by like doing something, it should count. It doesn't matter how you got it. But that's always going to be up for debate. Anyway, that's about it. Like I said, I really think that I wish that people would really look at this category and they would really see it for what it is, and not, like, you know, try to think I'm making some category that doesn't make sense. Because it's not like I'm making a category like 57 gold Skulltulas or like anything else like that. I'm trying to show that if we use the game mechanics that are available to us, like, this is what should be used, you know what I mean? We should just pretend that RBA doesn't exist in MST, like, because actually I heard that MST used to use RBA, but then it wasn't faster. But I don't know what the excuse is now, because it's definitely faster, and I just proved it in this video. So that's, you know, about it. I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you, like I said before, spread the word maybe if you want to. And if you're looking for a new category, hey, this is really fun to run. I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner because it's pretty hard. But if you have some experience in speedrunning, yeah, check this out. It's pretty cool. For sure. Alright, well, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna let the credits finish, and then the video will end. Remember to check me out at twitchtv.com/wobblethreat and Zas at twitchtv/Zas_. Alright, take care.